Good evening, everybody. Faster Horses Media welcomes you here to Hampton, Georgia, the Atlanta Motor Speedway, as these drivers get set to square off at one of the fastest mile-and-a-half tracks on the circuit here for race number 4 of the 280 Truck Series. Good to have you back after our bit of a hurricane hiatus. We had to cancel a couple races, but we're back. We're live. We're loud. We're ready to get started here at Atlanta. As always, I'm Adam LeVox here to bring you the action tonight. But as these drivers are wrapping up qualifying and beginning a little bit of a pre-race warm-up, let's get you a bit of a look at our standings. So far, it's been a couple weeks, but after our race at Darlington, this is how our standings shake out. Teammates Kyle Nadeau, and Craig Bell sitting first and second, separated by just 2 points. Third place, Brandon Torres lost out one spot after some sour look at Darlington, but looking to rebound here at Atlanta. Zach Miller making up some ground up to the 4th spot in standings, and Caleb Hayes losing out down to 5th spot. A lot of gainers here. Zach Laugen, Jeff Dotson, Greg Burchett up 3 spots last time around. Doug Argabright missed out on the first couple races of the season. He's up 7 spots already after claiming victory at, actually not Doug. I believe I have myself a little mixed up here. That was actually, I believe it's a 29. Daniel Jensen actually took victory at Darlington. Has not run as many. That was his first race in this series, so not quite up in the top 12 in standings yet. But Doug Argabright, after missing a race or two after Auto Club, is back in the mix, up in 11th, up 7 spots after a really strong run last time out. Looking to shake up these standings a little bit more as we go to Atlanta. A bit of a tricky track, bumpy. This is the old surface, not the new one you see presently. In reality, this is the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, the fast, bumpy, super hot, super slick track that we all know and love. And we are back at it here for race number 4. Excited to get in on the action. Expecting Atlanta fully to deliver. Track initially held its first race, I believe, 1960. So a long time giving us entertainment, and here to do it virtually yet again. It's a 1.540 mile quad oval, what most fans would call an intermediate speedway. Very, very fast track, high entry speeds, lots of banking. Lots of room to race, high line, mid line, low line. You're going to see all those come and go throughout the course of the event. These standings not indicative of qualifying. This is actually for the warm-up just before the race, giving us a little bit more time to set up stream. It has been a hot minute, so we'll hopefully get this up for you. Looking at our qualifying results, we got Kyle Nadeau sitting P1 in that number 97 truck. Matt White's going to start roll off second place. Daniel Jensen third in that number 29 machine. Alex Wiggins following him up in 4th in that 11. Craig Bell in P5. Sorry for a bit of a hiccup there. As we're getting graded, P6 going to be Doug Arkwright in that 41. All these drivers had a fantastic week out last week. Matt White, it's going to be, I believe, his first race with us. Aaron Max, skipped Brandon. Brandon Torres going to roll off P7 in that 95 HTM machine. Aaron Mack going to roll off P8. Ed Salz, P9. Caleb Hayes rounding off our top 10 in the 90. Zach Miller, your league host and orchestrator, is going to start P11. Jeff Dotson, that 3 machine, rolling off P12 behind him. It's going to be Michael Serra in that 13. Nick Rossi, 22 machine, P14, P15. Sean Sullivan in the 2. Jake Doffing, another new name. He's going to roll off P16 in that 88 machine. Mike Morkrid in 46, P17. Stephen Parker, 18th. And that is going to be our field. A little bit of a bigger field this week. Definitely excited to have more drivers on the field. More drivers equals more action, equals more fun for you and I to watch and commentate on throughout the race as our drivers head out for the pace lap and we get ready to go green here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Get your popcorn, get your snacks, get your drinks, get settled in. We are ready to get rolling here at Atlanta. Lemon Warriors, that's your number 97 and your number 14. They are currently first in team points. 22 points ahead of HTM. That's the 90 and 95 of Hayes and Torres. You'll see in 7th and 8th position right there. They're your leaders. They're the ones battling out for the top spot in your team points, but everybody's getting ready to battle here as we get ready to go green here at Atlanta. Pace truck is off. Nadeau takes him to the green flag. We are racing here at Atlanta as we see an early wreck from the 95. Not sure what happened there. Maybe had some help. He's going to be in pit lane early on, unfortunately. Almost gets run over by the pace truck. Almost hits the 63 right off the bat. That's going to bring out hopefully an early caution here as the 63 gets rolling off pit road. Brandon gets it gathered up and off pit road as well. This green's still out for the moment. Wiggins out front in an early exchange. He claims the lead. Nadeau is back to 3rd place. Down the backstretch they come. That 11 machine absolutely flying. 41 of Argabright, and that McDonald's machine right on his heels. But it's going to be back here for the 5th spot that we're seeing the most action right now, side by side. Looking like a battle between Jensen and Bell. Give Jensen the advantage in the 29 Curse machine for now. As Hayes looks to capitalize on the inside of the 14 as well. Back side by side. 14 of Bell, 29 of Jensen. Inside lane, outside lane, both totally viable options here at Atlanta. Bell was not done yet. He's going to claim that spot over Jensen for now, and he's got his sights set on the 5 of Mack. First race in the 280 series here for Aaron Mack as well. With that great looking number 5 Citizen Soldier machine out front early and looking for that 3rd spot, but he's got the 14 all over the back bumper of his truck. Washing up a little bit wide in the wake of the 97. He's going to see if he can use that momentum on the high side off the corner. Nothing gained, but who is gaining is Bell. Bell looks to the inside. He's going to get alongside as we enter 3. Up the track goes the 5, using that momentum, burning that right rear off the truck, trying to get, or stay ahead of the 14, rather. Jensen behind. Looking for an opening in this battle. Not going to happen just yet. Side by side still. 5 and 14 will be Bell to the inside. Mack to the outside. Bell's going to get it done. Slide in front of Mack. But it's not over for him yet because here comes Jensen to the inside. A lot of drivers hungry to get out front early, get themselves a gap, and be able to manage tires, because this track, if it does one thing well, it is chew up tires, and we fully expect it to do that today. Number 1 and Matt White out of the race early. We'll see if he can get back in and make some laps here. He's having some internet troubles. As well as a 63 of Randall Pease, both retiring early, but definitely hoping to see them back in the race before too long. Brandon Torres back out on track. He's going to be listed P23 at the moment. 19 seconds back from your leader. Up front, getting a little spicy up here. Wiggins starting to feel the pressure from the 41 machine of Argabright. Seen Argabright look to the inside a couple times. Hasn't been able to make it stick as he feints to the inside once again, trying to get in the head of Wiggins in that 11. Slipping, sliding all over the place. You see these trucks absolutely yawed out in the corners. This is one of the most fun tracks on the schedule. Jostling you all over the place. The bumps up in turn 1 are brutal. And if you don't know what you're doing here, it can get you into trouble pretty quick if you're not careful, especially on old tires. Looking back here, we got Ed Salz in the 51, hooking it around the outside of Hayes, and we'll see if he can. Oh, big wiggle there. Big moment there for Salz. Good save. We see him sideways, even coming across the line on the front stretch. All sorts of out of shape in that 72 truck. Yeah, there's a backup, but still super loose back there, but we're going to focus our attention forward. To Jensen, who is absolutely going after this 5 machine. We see Mack in the wall just a little bit there, and right in front we see Bell in the wall. Maybe a issue with his wheel or something there. He just took a hard right into the wall on the straight. Not going to be good for the aero of that truck, and that's really important here at Atlanta. Doesn't look like much damage for that 14. He'll continue on. Gather it back up and keep going, as right behind him is a whole train of trucks. Jensen, Hayes, Mack, Miller. Not the rapper. See Miller trying to pick up that spot, take advantage of the misfortune of the 5, getting into the fence. Maybe some aero damage to the 5. We'll have to see how it plays out. Holding on decent at the moment. Might have burned up that right rear tire just a little bit too early in this run. Once again, stressing this is the first time out for the 5 this season. Fading back ever so slightly now is going to be Doug Argabright. He's almost in the clutches of Nadeau at this point in that 97 Lowe's machine. Two very brightly colored trucks. Looking spectacular out on the track and providing some spectacular action for us while they're at it. Let's go ahead and pop the gap up there so you can keep an eye on the intervals between these drivers and the leader. Right now, Wiggins class of the field 7/10 ahead of this battle here between second and third. Big slide there from the 97. You see Bell's going to be the first one to undergo green flag pit service as he takes to pit road. Here on Warren Tires, we're going to start seeing these lines spreading out. We're going to see the extreme high lane and that low lane try to play out. Generally, we see that high lane prevail on the long run due to the wear on the tires. It's really hard to make it stick on the bottom and very, very hard to get a good run off the corner once that right rear has been compromised. Take a look a little farther back in the field. We got a battle here brewing for 12th place, as it were, between Josh Emerson and Jeff Dodson. Dodson gonna slide his truck right in front of Emerson. The 13 of Sarah says, I'll take advantage of that. And that Gravedigger number 13 machine, he's gonna possibly go for a 2-for-1 here. Inside, trying to hold it down there, almost 3 wide off the corner. Dangerous proposition here, as loose as everyone is. Definitely have to have trust in your fellow drivers to pull that off. The 13 is going to make the pass on both of them, but it's still going to be Dotson and Emerson side by side. Dotson's going to clear, but is also going to get big loose off of 2. 73 fades back to that 15th spot for 14th spot right now. Into the clutches of Greg Burchett. Sorry, Burchett in the fence off. And we got a wreck on the front stretch. Burchett backwards. Got into Parker. He spins in front of several cars. He's got a lockdown, skidding across the front stretch. Grass. Caution is going to come out for that incident. Here on lap 20, sorry we didn't get the session state up there for you. Get your lap counter ticking down at this point. We're under caution for the first time here at Atlanta. These drivers definitely going to be relieved to see that come out as we see slipping and sliding all over the place. These trucks loose as can be. Present a bit of a dicey situation for more than a few drivers. Right now, it's still Wiggins out front. He's going to lead them to pit road once pit lane opens, followed by Argabright, Nadeau, Hayes, and Jensen, your top 5. Expecting most everybody to come. We're going to see the 14 stay out. Remember, he already took his green flag pit stop just a few short laps ago. So he should already be set for this run on fuel and tires. Off pit road they come, going to maintain spots just barely. Wiggins is going to hold that lead off of pit road. Argabright right behind. Top 3 stays the same. Top 4 stays the same by the looks of it. Checking in on Hayes. He's going to come out P5. Miller coming out P6. Going to be a good opportunity for that 95. We saw him have trouble right on the initial start of the race. He's going to be able to get back up in the mix. After trouble early on, both the 90 and 95 had sour runs at Darlington, looking to make up for that today. The 90's already proven his mettle. He's up in P11, fighting for spots, and we'll see what the 95 of Brandon Torres has for us today. Back out front, we see that one machine, that number 1 Ryko Toyota is back out on the circuit. Matt White, good to have you back. Must have got the internet issues resolved. Going to be several laps down. It looks like maybe we had a change of heart from Bell. We see Bell on pit lane. Took tires and fuel not too long ago. Can expect a wave around here for that one truck shortly after they come across the line this time. Good to see the Torres squad in chat. I see everybody. I see a Let's Go Brandon from Connor. I see Alyssa Torres. Dylan Reimer also in the chat saying kick some butt, Torres. We got a lot of Torres fans. We got Hi Doug from Switch 208. Good to see you here. Tires and Triggers, good to have you back in chat. Brandon's back in the mix, and hopefully he'll make his way up front. We'll follow his progress, of course. Well, Pease, we'll see you next week, buddy. Hopefully we'll get things worked out. Tires, these are fixed races. Fixed setup for everybody. Getting set to go green. Pace lights are out on the pace truck. Drivers are set. It'll be Wiggins leading him to the green flag. Gonna choose that outside lane on the start. Green flag's out. Wiggins fires off. Great jump on Argabright. A little bit of tire spin. You see the back of that 41 machine wiggling around just a little bit. That's going to put him in the sights of the 29 of Jensen and the 97 of Nadeau. Not going to happen just yet. He's hoping those two behind him stay side by side. Nadeau's going to slide up in front of the 29. Hopefully cut him off. As Wiggins out to a nearly 8-car length lead within the first two corners. But it's the race for third that's on here between Nadeau and Jensen. Jensen looking to the inside, trying to keep out of the wake of that 97. Nadeau's going to cut it down in front. It's a game of cat and mouse. If you're not familiar with the concept, aero blocking. All these cars have a ton of air that's coming off the back of them. That air is turbulent, circulating. It's kind of like a little mini hurricane off the back spoiler of these trucks. And if you're the truck behind, you don't want to be tucked up in that. You want the smooth air. You want that clean air on the nose of your truck creating downforce. And if you're right up under the truck in front of you, you don't have that, and you're going to spend more tires and really shorten the life, shorten your speed, long run speed, and the life of those tires over the course of that run, trying to make those passes. And speaking of making passes, we got the 97 in Nadeau. He's going to pull away from Jensen and send it to the inside of Argabright. It's like he had nitrous down that backstretch. Not quite clear yet. Argabright holding on to the outside. 97 almost clear. Probably could have slid up if he wanted to, but he's going to play it safe into turn one. Shot out of a rocket is the 97 machine. He is clear of P2 and going for the lead now here at Atlanta. Down the backstretch into turn 3 goes Wiggins, followed by Nadeau and Argerbright and Jensen. Nice and steady for that 97. Makes up a little bit of ground here in 3 and 4. Still 1.5 car lengths back for second place. Couple lap cars in for pit service down low and non-factor. Nothing to worry about there. Little bit of a slide already here. Only the third time around the track since the restart, and a little bit of a twitch there from the 97 truck on his way around this time. As promised, we're going to take a look back here at Torres. Still a lap down at the moment. After that pit cycle, we'll see if he can make his way back up. Looks like he might have had to pit again. Possibly some damage on that 95 machine. Catches another caution. He should be able to get that lucky dog and get back on the lead lap here. Back toward the front, we're trading spots, though. It's Nadeau on the outside, Wiggins on the inside. We'll see if he can make it stick on the outside. It looks like he's got Wiggins cleared off of 2. Put the number to 97 Lowe's machine of Nadeau to the lead. To the lead and pulling away by 3 car lengths plus now. It's going to be 3 trucks under a blanket for that second spot. We see Argerbright starting to close in on Wiggins. Gonna take advantage of that battle. Jensen again lurking right behind, waiting for an opportunity to pounce for that third spot. Wiggins not done yet. Nearly some contact with the 97. Is gonna slide in behind as they barrel down the backstretch toward 3. Looking to the inside is Argerbright. Not going to be able to make it happen just yet. Everybody say hi to Barney, our resident flagman here, following us along for the 280 Truck Series Tour. Still pretty even between your top 4. Not too much going on. Single file. Maybe a battle for that second place brewing, but not seen it just yet. We've seen Argerbright poke the nose out a couple times. Wiggins doing an excellent job of defending so far. See him slide down right in front of Argerbright, trying to take the air off the nose of that truck and prevent him from making any headway. Just behind this battle, though, we see Zach Miller creeping up ever so slowly. Cracked the top 5. Now he's got his sights set on 4th spot. That's going to be Jensen. Taking a look back here a little bit. Should be the 72 machine of Ed Sal's, for some reason, showing up as the 51. We apologize for that bit of a clerical error. But all over the tailgate of that 2 Coast Guard truck of Sean Sullivan. Looking to the inside, get alongside off of 4. Let's see if he can make it clear before turn 1. It looks like he's going to do that. Move Sal's up 1 spot to P7. Jake Doffing, another new name here. That number 88 truck's going for that 5th spot. He's on attack against Miller. Side by side into 3. Doffing to the inside. Miller to the outside. Neck and neck. Still dead even. Oh, it was a big slide. Doffing sideways. Saves it somehow. 45-degree angle slide for Doffing there. That was impressive. Impressive piece of driving there to save that truck. Though I'd wager that right rear tire is not going to be happy about what just transpired, and I'm not sure if the driver is going to be very happy about it either. Talking about the 72 of Sal's, he's going to take advantage of the misfortune of both of those trucks. He's going to look to take that fifth spot from Zach Miller. He's going to clear Miller into one, and Miller's going to fall into the clutches of that two truck pretty soon. Sean Sullivan making headway as well. Miller to the inside, pulling back alongside that 72 machine. Into three, Miller to the bottom. Ed Snell's going to hold on to that spot there, using that high lane as we go through this run. Like we said, should see that top lane become a little more dominant. You'll see drivers definitely pull down in front of the car behind, though, to try to take that clean air off the nose, try to get them loose, make them force a mistake. Back here, we got a battle between the 5 and 22. Or sorry, between the 5 and 2, not the 22. Sometimes hard to tell the Coast Guard trucks apart. Mack and Sullivan going at it. Mack climbing his way back up the ranks. We saw him up front early, but have a little bit of trouble. Back up to P8 now. Just now cracking the top 10's 90 of Hayes. Brandon's teammate for HTM. Making up some ground. As I believe P12 or P13 on the restart. Making up a couple spots already. See a lot of comers and goers over the course of the long green flag runs. You'll see who's good at saving their tires, who's nice and smooth and can manage not to scrub too much material off of those tires and keep them cool on a relatively hot day here in Atlanta. Back up front, still 1, 2, 3, and Nadeau, Wiggins, Arga, Bright. Wiggins starting to claw his way back on this long run, just half a car length behind the 97. Really wide arcing entry to the corner for the 97. That's going to give him a little bit of an advantage off the corner. He's going to pull away by a car length, maybe two as they enter three. .42 laps in the books. We see these front two moving all over the racetrack, top of the track, bottom of the track, mid-track, looking for every last ounce of speed they can find out of these worn tires. Wiggins to the inside of Nadeau. He's going to draw even a little bit of a wiggle there. That's going to cost him exit speed. Nadeau's going to hang on for now. Half a car length your gap going into turn one. That's going to cost them dearly. As fast as this track is, a little bit of momentum loss is going to cost you, not just for that corner, but usually the following lap as well. Getting that speed built back up is a bit of a challenge. It's very much a rhythm track. If you miss your mark, if you have a bit of a slide one time, it's easy to fall back. But Wiggins doing a good job managing that slide. He's already on the charge again as we see him close to a car length and a half on the dough. Jumping on board with Wiggins now. As Tanner 1 and 2. Let's look. Keep an eye on that wheel as they exit the corner. See if they get loose. You might see that wheel go back to the right a little bit. Trying to keep the back end of that truck in line as they slip and slide off the corners. Nice and easy. The drivers, if you keep an eye on their hands, if the drivers, those smooth inputs are generally the ones who are going to take care of their tires the best over the longer green flag runs. Very, very ginger on the throttle. Don't hear him go full throttle to almost completely off the corner. Very, very loose in the back end, especially when you got the car or the truck in front of you, rather, taking that air off, that downforce off of your truck. He's going to go to the outside now. Wiggins to the outside, Nadeau to the inside. As they enter 1 and 2, we got Argabright ripping that top lane, hoping to make a move on these top two as well. Wiggins is going to make the pass on Nadeau. Argabright's going to shoot right behind him. Going to suck up in that draft right behind, and he's going to make the pass for second as well. Move both drivers up a spot. Nadeau drops 2 to P3 right now. Bit of a wiggle there for Argabright. Not too bad, though. Going to hold that second spot for now. This is still your closest battle on track at the moment between your leaders here, the 11 and the 41. Wiggins going to pull it down in front of Argabright, trying to force that air off the nose. Look at that. What a great demonstration of what that dirty air does. As soon as you saw that 11 pull down in front of the 41, you saw that back end just get super, super loose. Yeah, everyone's starting to migrate to that high lane. We'll see who's got the chops to keep it off the fence. We'll see another big wiggle there from the 41. Nadeau back to the inside. He's going to clear Doug into 3. Very equally matched your top 3 so far this race, but right now it's going to be Wiggins out front. These two are going to battle it out for the second spot as Wiggins is going to build that gap again like we saw the first run. Big mover of the race. Let's jump back to that number 73 machine of Josh Emerson. What a race for him so far. Up 15 spots so far. Up to P10. Cracked inside the top 10. Running solid all day, just chipping away little by little. And that Bridgestone Tires number 73 truck. Following right behind, another driver we haven't talked about too much, Nick Brasi in that 22. One of the Coast Guard foursome of trucks that we have on track here. A little bit of a wiggle there. Passed by the one, not for a position. He's several laps down after that internet disconnect earlier on in the race. Looking back here, we still got Brandon Torres. He's still sitting a lap down. He's got 2 other drivers he's battling for that lucky dog if we happen to see a caution come out. That's going to be the 31 here, Greg Burchett, who's just a couple seconds up the track from him. And we got Crank Bell in the 14, a little bit behind both of these drivers. Those 3 trucks, Burchett, Torres, and Bell, all trying to hang on to take advantage of that lucky dog award should we see another caution. That'll get them back on that lead lap and back in the fight here. We see a little bit of damage on the left front and the left rear of Burchett. Might affect his speed just a little bit. Also having a bit of a battle here with the 82 machine of Odell. Back up P7, we got a battle brewing here, which we got between Jake Doffing and Sean Sullivan. Oh, we got a bit of a wreck here on the front straight. Let's go back and try to take a look at what happened. We see Zach Miller get a little bit too low here on the racetrack. Gets a little bit of that apron. Oh, trying to hit pit road, just missed the pit lane. Didn't get it woed down quite early enough. Got it high-sided on the apron and wasn't able to get all 4 tires engaged on the brakes. Oh, we see him come back out on track. Who's he tagged there? Was that the 73? Let's take a look here one more time and try to see who else got caught up in this. This was a little bit later. Unfortunately, not able to get that portion of the replay back. Still green flag currently. Green flag pit stops commencing for a lot of our drivers. The top 4 are the only ones left on the lead lap as everyone else has come in for pit service already. To see Wiggins pulling an absolutely huge gap, 1.4 seconds, almost nearly a second and a half as he's going to hit pit lane this time. Struggling to get it slowed down, completely sideways, got it locked up, trying to get it woed down for pit lane, hopefully not speeding. It would be very unfortunate to encounter that from the lead. Judging by the damage, it looks like it was a 73 machine that Zach Miller got into when he came back on track. Really unfortunate for Josh Emerson as he was doing so well today. That's going to give the lead to Aaron Mack for the moment. Mack was running just inside the top 10 when we last saw. We'll see how they cycle out after these green flag pit stops. Definitely don't want to stay out on the track too long after the pit cycle commences. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of time on those worn tires against the other trucks with fresh tires. Just for reference, we see a 34.9 was Aaron's last lap on old tires. 34.9 was that. 35.0 that lap compared to a 33.0. 2 full seconds for Kyle Nadeau on fresh tires and dealing with traffic at the same time. So huge deficit in tire wear between those old tires and new. Ooh, nearly some contact there between the 10 and the 3. That would have been bad news for Dotson. Dotson having a great race so far, up to P4. He's probably going to cycle through, I can only imagine, pretty high up the ranks. Probably second or third once it all cycles out. Next lap or two, we should have everyone back on track, done with their pit cycles. Jensen and Mack are going to hit pit lane. But Dotson also going to hit pit lane. He must have stayed out. Pit cycle's just about done. We got a bit of a traffic jam back here for a third spot. We got Argabright trying to, or second spot rather, Argabright in third, trying to chase down Wiggins for second. All over the back bumper of that 11 Chevrolet. Half a car length of the gap. Argabright losing a little bit of ground off the corner, not able to make it stick. Trying to make the pass to the inside. Wiggins definitely doesn't want to let him do it. He's going to pull it down late corner. He takes that wide entry and pulls it down in front of the 41, trying to get him loose, trying to make those front tires fade just a little bit for that 41. Both navigating the lap traffic of the 22. That's going to be Rossi back in 8th place. Big gap, big spread for the field so far after this green flag pit cycle. Only 7 drivers currently on the lead lap. That's going to be Nadeau, Wiggins, Argabright, Doffing, Sullivan, Mack, and Jensen. Bell in the 14 on a bit of a different strategy. He last pitted lap 42. Rest of your field somewhere between 53 and 59. So has a little bit older tires, but made up a little bit of track position here. And were we to get a caution right now, he would be the lucky dog recipient and get his lap back. Remember, Bell was actually the last of the 3 cars a lap down before this green flag pit cycle. And now, due to this bit of a different pit strategy, finds himself first car lap down. So should we see a caution, that's great news for that number 14, who's having a bit of a rough day so far. Plenty of time left, though, as we're 65 laps down out of 115, just over halfway through this race. Pretty spread out throughout the field, jumping back up front to that second place battle between Argabright and Wiggins. Argabright has it for now. Wiggins hoping to get it back. Absolute blistering pace from this top segment of drivers. You see the gap between first through third to the rest of the field. Gap third to fourth, nearly 12 seconds at this point. Doe, Argabright, and Wiggins, always fast drivers, putting on an absolute clinic so far here at Atlanta. Hopefully we don't spread the commentator's curse to either of these drivers, but were we to have some trouble at any point throughout this race, we'd just say we're doing it for the fans. Giving everyone else a shot to get back in the mix. Give us a little more entertainment value. Apologies for that. Well, while our field is spread out, you see Nadeau has pretty much a full backstretch length on second place currently. I'll go ahead and give you a bit of a brief. We got a charity race coming up, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. It's going to be a charity race at Daytona International Speedway, benefiting the military members and families recently affected by the multiple hurricanes that have ravaged the South. And if you check the description of this live stream down below the video feed, you'll see a GoFundMe link there. It would be more than happy to take donations anytime. Don't have to wait for that race, but that race is going to be Saturday the 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Faster Horses Media. Back here with me, and we're also going to have Randall Peasley on the broadcast with us. He's going to explain a little bit about the prizes we'll have available for the drivers throughout the race, and it is for any military members interested in joining. There will be a $10 buy-in for the race to go towards those prizes, and of course the charity donations for those affected service members. That'll be a bit of a longer race. That's going to be at, again, Daytona International Speedway. That will be in the Next Gen Cup Series cars. That won't be in these, will not be in the trucks, I do not believe. That will be 155 laps, nearly 400 miles of racing. Plenty of entertainment to go around at a super speedway like that. Should be a lot of action, a lot of wrecks, and a lot of fun. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you all there. And we'll be sure to mention it again next week. And again, that is Saturday the 26th, 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Faster Horses Media. Slipping, sliding all over the place. Wiggins all over the back of that number 41. Still can't quite make anything happen for all his effort at the moment. Throwing every last trick he can at the 41 Argbright. Can't seem to gain an advantage or get alongside that McDonald's truck. Taking a ride along again. Argabright able to make the bottom work still. Wiggins on the outside. Wiggins going to get a big run here. We'll cross over Argabright. He's going to get alongside, but will he be able to make it stick through turns 3 and 4? Getting alongside is one thing, but holding off the momentum from that top lane is a whole nother thing entirely. Not quite going to happen. Argabright's going to use that huge momentum off of 4, slingshot right back around Wiggins and claim that second spot again. Nadeau still holding a 2.5 lead over this second place battle. Looks like Jake Doffing and Dan Jensen might be gearing to mix it up a little bit back there for that 5th spot. We'll take a look back there in just a moment. Side by side now as Jensen sends it to the inside of the 88 truck. Doffing, big tail slide of that 88 machine coming off the corner. Jensen's going to take that spot, move Jensen into the top 5. Massive tank slapper. Oh, as we see Doffing in the fence, he's going to smack that wall on the front stretch, getting loose. Still loose. He might have some serious issues with that right rear tire on that truck. Even down the straightaways, can't quite keep it underneath him. Possibly remnants of the accident we saw, contact we saw earlier between him and Miller. Remember, we saw that massive slide. Might have taken a lot of the life out of that right rear tire. You might be seeing the effects of that now. Jumping back a little bit, we got a battle between Dotson and Rossi for the 11th spot now. A little bit of a slide out of Dotson there. He's going to have to get off the throttle as he caught just a little bit of the apron. That's a good way to get loose no matter how good your tires are. He's going to slide back one spot to P12. Move Nick up to P11. Ed Sal's in the 72 car. He is the lead, first car one lap down. Like many of these drivers, probably desperately hoping for a caution. Be able to bring those trucks down pit lane again before we have to make green flag pit stops one more time. Which should be coming up fairly soon. We'll try to take a ride on board as they try to get a woe down for pit road. You see just how difficult that is to do to make the transition from the racetrack down onto the flat part of the apron while also trying to big slide there for Jensen off the corner, trying to get the truck slowed down on a flat surface while also turning and trying not to lock up all four tires is definitely a bit of a task here at Atlanta. Hot and slick, and your tires are absolutely wasted after a long green flag run like this. The ARC right in for service. We're seeing these drivers start to come down pit lane. Let's go ahead and ride with Wiggins, and we'll see how hard that is. I imagine he's not going to stay out too much longer here. See if we can't see what it's like to try to get one of these trucks mowed down for pit lane. Going to stay out this time. Counter steering, you see that wheel going to the right, trying to keep that truck going in the right direction. Bit of a traffic jam here. Navigating that is Wiggins. Keeping it nice and tight. He's actually gaining ground on your leader, though. I think we might see Nadeau come in this time. And we do. He's going to send it down to pit lane. The kind of traffic jams you don't want to see. Loose drivers trying to get on to pit lane. Fast drivers trying to, with fresh tires, trying to charge as fast as possible off of pit lane, trying to get every bit of advantage they can from those fresh tires. It's a bit of a nightmare if you're up front trying to figure out what lap you want to come in and trying to manage that kind of traffic. Doing both things, trying to make it to pit lane and come off pit lane safely. It can be a bit of a challenge this time. We'll see how much longer Wiggins wants to stay out on these tires. Might be maximizing his tires for the last run of the race. Should be close to their last pit stop. He's able to stretch it a couple more laps. He's going to bring it down this time. Oh, it makes me look like a liar. It makes it look absolutely easy. Well done getting on a pit lane. Nice and smooth. He'll bring it down for service. Still your leader. Aaron Mack's going to inherit that lead now from that second spot. Looks like we might see another long run for Mack and Jensen, trying to stretch out that tire run and that fuel run, maybe make it on one more stop. As we saw them do with the last run as well. Argerbright, who's already made his stop, he's running 32.5 second laps. Who you're on board with right now, the last lap was a 34.75. over 2 seconds. That's nearly 2.25 seconds faster per lap for those on fresh tires. But it's going to be a big advantage if Mack and Jensen, the other drivers, trying to stretch out this green flag run and make it to the end on one more stop. If they don't have to stop again, that's massively advantageous for them. We might see them pull off a top 5 finish here. If these leaders have to pit one more time before the end, they're going to end up going a lap down. They're being on the same lap as these drivers who can make it to the end. Pit cycle's starting to come to a close. The last couple cars expected to make their stops soon. We got Dotson, Torres expected to come in. Greg Burchett still out on track. And, of course, first and second place, Mack and Jensen, both last pitted lap 59. Expecting them to come any lap, trying to stretch it absolutely as far as they possibly can. Jensen's starting to gain. He's 0.9 seconds back. Was 1.4 seconds back from Jensen. I think both of these drivers just trying to take it easy, trying to coax every last bit of fuel and every last bit of tire they can out of these trucks. And probably just absolutely praying for a caution to come out, because that would benefit them massively were it to happen right now, and you trap a lot of cars a lap down. Well, for a lack of a caution cycle, we're going to go ahead and pop up our main sponsor of the series anyhow. That's going to be 614 Designs. That's our league administrator. That's Zach Miller. If you have any need for iRacing paints, go ahead and hit him up on Instagram at 6.1.4_designs or Zach D. Miller on trading paints for anything you might need as far as paint schemes or graphics or anything like that go. Leader finally brings it down pit road. Mack's going to come in for service. Jensen's going to come in for service. Torres in for service. The 41 Argabrite's going to be out front after we cycle through the pits. And Nadeau's going to bring up that second spot, followed by Wiggins. A bit of a mix-up. We saw Nadeau out to about a 1.5 second lead before the cycle. Now he finds himself nearly 2 seconds back from Argabrite. A lot of time to make up, but not a lot of time to do it. Closing in on just 20 laps to go here at Atlanta. Well, if you got a nice stereo system or anything else like that, we're going to go ahead and what we try to do every week and crank it up. Do some trackside cameras as the trucks, these drivers go flying by. Take in the sights and sounds. 280 Truck Series. here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. Back here for the 6th spot, it's Mac just getting the better of Rossi here behind him. Nick Rossi in that 22 truck. Both having solid days up inside the top 10. And look who else, despite the odds, finds himself inside the top 10. Mr. Brandon Torres in that number 95 HTM machine. After going a lap down early, he must have some significant pace in that truck if he has stayed only one lap down to the leaders. Despite so many other drivers falling a lap down and several laps down in some cases. Oh, it's nearly an incident there, trying to get around. I'm not sure what truck that was. It was not the 13. Now that's going to be a 63 Peasley. All out of sorts coming off the corner there. Nearly causing an incident, but everyone's staying safe for now. Back up front, it's starting to heat up yet again. I said there was a lot of ground to make up, and Nadeau said, well, hold my cobalt wrench, because I'm going to go make up a 2 seconds in no time at all on Doug Arterbright. As we see the caution come out. Go back here and see if we can't figure out what happened. We'll look at the replay. It looks like this started earlier. Go ahead and check in with Burchett. I think Burchett might have been, oh yeah. Burchett and the 82 machine, that's going to be Brendan Odell. Coming together on the front stretch. Not sure what happened. We see pretty much a straight line. Not sure if we had some steering issues or what happened. Let's rewind just a little bit, see if we can't figure it out. All together, oh, we see Odell just gets loose. Then overcorrects back to the right and gets Greg. Going into turn 1, big damage on both of those trucks. We see the right front fender just hanging off that 31. Well, we needed some drama, and we got it. We're going to have a lot of trucks on fresh tires and 10 laps, just over 10 laps to settle this race. This should be a pretty exciting finish. While we're under caution, we'll go ahead and throw that advertisement back up there. If you need any design help, several of these trucks out on track designed by Zach Miller, 614 Designs. And that 38 truck right there, that truck's designed by him. As well as, I believe, the 82 of Odell we just saw involved in that wreck. Sorry, not the 82, the 10 truck. Ryan Bailey back here. That 10 truck also designed by Miller. Well, I can only imagine we're going to see some trucks potentially take wave rounds. They should have the opportunity, as we saw lead lap trucks come into pit. No, we're actually going to see a lot of pit stops out of the lap down cars. They're going to settle it amongst themselves. As we see most of the field's going to peel off the pit lane for service. All right, field's getting set to go green now. We'll be coming to 11 to go. This time by, pace truck is off. We're getting ready to rock and roll here at Atlanta. We got just 11 laps to go here at the line. Green flag is out. It's going to be Argabright so far. Nadeau holding second, but he's under fire from Wiggins. Wiggins to the outside. He's getting a sniff of that rear spoiler. He's going to try to side draft. Pull Nadeau back to him. Side by side. Dead even down the backstretch. Wiggins going to pull along. He's going to go to second. Clear Nadeau. That 5 truck of Mac not in this, actually. The 5 truck is a lap down. Hasn't seen another caution come out. Yellow is back out once again. Problems for Crank Bell. Problems for Spencer Smith. We're going to go ahead and go back and take a look at this. Rewind just one more moment here. Absolute chaos here as we had 3 wide down the front stretch. Just a little bit of a wiggle caused massive chaos for everybody. We'll take a look at that one more time. We'll back up just a little bit and we'll watch in slow motion to see what transpired. We had the 56 wash up the track a little bit. That's going to be Spencer Smith. He gets into the 90 of Hayes. Just gets himself loose and into the right rear of Peasley, who just absolutely goes flying after contact with Hayes. You see Torres taking evasive action to the inside. He's going to spin the 56 out in an attempt to avoid this whole thing. Oh. And by drifting, you see Crank Bell down the bottom of that 14 avoids most of the contact that could have befallen him from that incident. But the two major involved trucks here are going to be Peasley and Smith for this caution. No shortage of action here at the end of the race here at Atlanta. And what do you know? The 95, I believe, is, let me double check myself here, is the first car one lap down. And will probably get the lucky dog. So he's got a shot now to improve from 5th position on account of being on the same lap as the top 5. We've seen all night he's had the speed in that truck. He just hasn't had the track position. Slowly but surely chipping his way back up through the field. Here inside the top 5 now, probably going to get his lap back. Only a lap on their tires. This top 5 thinking, no way, not even a chance of coming down pit lane for tires. Assuming they have any left to start with. Everyone holding on to that track position. Base light's still on. We'll probably be going green with just 4 laps to go at the end of this race. I hope you're as hyped up in chat, and those of you watching at home as I am, because I'm ready to see these guys, this top 5, absolutely go at it for the last 5 laps. And this whole field, it's getting intense. We've seen these guys out of control all day, just hanging on, kind of trying to manage their equipment and get themselves in position for just such an event as this, when they all get stacked up and fired off for just a few laps here at the end of the race to decide who's going to take victory here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lights are out on the pace truck as the field gets filed side by side, getting ready to take the green this time. Argerbright looking to lead him to the green flag. Looks like he's going to elect for that inside lane for the start. Everybody on even tires, everybody on even fuel. This is just going to be a 4-lap shootout here to the finish. Pace truck is off. Argerbright fires off. Green flag's out. Argerbright spins. He's spinning back into the field. The 72 gets into it. The 10 gets into him. The 38 gets into him. And we're under caution immediately again as the 41 massively spins out of the lead on the restart. What a turn of events for the 41, who's been flawless all day. Burned the tires off it on the final restart. And gets into several other trucks. Getting a little bit of damage on his own truck and that left rear in the process. That whole back end of that truck not looking great, just hanging on. You can see a little bit of motion there in the back. It might even fly off the truck at some point. We'll see. Let's go back and take another look at this via the replay. Lined up, we just see immediately, as soon as he gets on the gas, Argerbright just absolutely out of control. And absolute pandemonium erupts behind as everyone tries to dodge and escape the carnage. It looks like Zach Miller involved a little bit again. But by virtue of this caution, we're going to have another Lucky Dog Award. That's going to put the 5 car of Aaron Mack back on the lead lap as well. So that's 7 cars now on the lead lap, whereas we just had 4 not too long ago. I am mistaken. Aaron Mack does not look like he has regained a lap there. Not quite sure what happened with our timing scoring here, but looks like we're going to have a green-white checkered attempt at the finish here. That'll be a 2-lap sprint to the finish, assuming we can finish it under green. We'll get 2 attempts at a green-white checkered finish before the race is called. Wiggins in that top 3 all day. He's going to be the beneficiary of that slip-up by Argerbright. Argerbright's going to hit the pits and repair that damage to that truck. Possibly throw on a fresh set of tires, try to make up what spots he can, because he's not going to lose a lap. Keep in mind, most of the field is still a lap down, so he's still going to start right around the 6th spot, regardless of if he pits and puts on some fresh tires and gets a little bit of that damage fixed. So maybe those tires can carry him back and gain another spot or 2 before the end of this. We'll see. But that pit is extended pit's gonna give P4 to Torres. Torres from the absolute back to the front. Now up in P4, back on the lead lap now. On equal footing with the rest of the cars up here. The 72 had a bit of contact. You'll see the left front of that 72 truck. That's gonna be Ed Sal's. See if we can't get a better view of it. There we go. Front of this truck not looking too good, but gonna elect not to pit for this 2-lap shootout for the finish. The first 2 green-white checkered attempts. 2 possible green-white checkered attempts, I should say. Nadeau, another driver that's been absolutely rock solid all day, keeping it up in the top 3, competitive on the long runs, the short runs, you name it. He's kept himself in the mix, but we've seen some really good short run speed out of this 97. We saw the last green flag run right after they fired off. He charged to the lead from about a second back. Can he do it again as he's going to start to the inside of Wiggins, it appears. Wiggins going to elect to keep that outside lane for this restart. We're getting ready to go green. Pace truck's off. Wiggins fires off. Nadeau to the inside. Wiggins gets a massive launch, and he is setting sail into turn one. The 72 machine is going to try to look inside of the 97. Not going to be able to make it stick there. He's trying to hang on for dear life with that damaged front end of that truck, but it's 97 of Nadeau, the only one with a shot at the 11 of Wiggins. Good run, good exit off of 2 for Nadeau. He's sailing it down the backstretch. Planting it in that middle lane, trying to get that momentum off the corner. Going to get another good run down the front stretch. Little bit of a tank slapper there off the corner. It's still Wiggins by 10 car lengths as we cross the line for the final lap. Wiggins up high, Nadeau down low. Getting the white stripe on the bottom of the track. He's not going to be able to get it done, I don't think, off of 2. Closes a little bit, but will it be enough? He's going to send it into 3 and 4. We'll find out. Both trucks at the bottom. Wiggins still clear by 6 car lengths. It's going to be Alex Wiggins taking victory here at Atlanta. It's going to be the Battle of the Northerners decided here at Atlanta, in the South, ironically, between Wiggins and Nadeau. With Wiggins coming out on top, Nadeau's going to take that second spot. Great race all around. Great recovery run for Torres. Back up into the top 5 for the end of the race. Argabright came back on those fresh tires for P4. Frank Bell made up some ground after an early bit of strategy and a bit of trouble as well. All the way back up to P6. Aaron Mack, P7. Matt White, P8. Nick Rossi, P9. And Sean Sullivan in that 12, or in that 2, sorry, is going to round out your top 10. There's your top 18, or sorry, that is qualifying. What am I doing with myself? Let's go ahead and put the proper results up here. We got Alex Wiggins, of course, taking victory. Kyle Nadeau, we already went through the top 10. Let's skip down. Zach Miller, P11. Jeff Dotson, P12. Mike Morkrid, P13. Ryan Bailey, P14. Caleb Hayes, P15. Greg Burchett, 16. Jake Doffing, 17. P18. Brandon Odell. Overall, great show from all these drivers. We see the Lemon Lawyers pulling off another solid day. That is going to be Kyle Nadeau in that 97 and Crank Bell in the 14. Both part of the same team, trying to hang on to that points lead, and I think they're going to do so this week. All right. We're going to try to get some folks in here to talk about their race. Let's go ahead and start with our leader. Let's go ahead and bring Alex Wiggins in here. Alex is Adam Levox up in the booth. How you doing, sir? Probably feeling pretty good after that victory here at Atlanta. That was a pretty intense final couple laps. That's one way to look at it. I mean, top 3 all day. You had great speed. It looks like everyone was absolutely just struggling to hang on to the back of those trucks. How bad were the conditions out there? How hot and slick was it on those long runs? Well, we had the Battle of the Northerners, and I'm afraid Michigan came out on top, which I'm a fan of. We win. No offense to anyone else watching. I'm sure we got some friends and family of others in here, but as I am a bit biased also being a Michigan native. So congratulations on that win. That was an absolute barn burner finish. And what made you choose a top line for that final restart? Yeah, it did work out good, especially probably got a little bit nervous seeing that second attempt. You probably figured you had had a pretty good shot there against Doug. We saw Doug got I don't know what happened, if he had a wrong gear or what on that previous restart, but it was a bit of a Code Brown moment for everybody, for the entire field behind you. But yeah, probably a bit of added stress there, having to fire off a second time and try to get it again. But yeah, it ended up being a pretty good race, and everyone got back in the mix at the end. Just perfect for TV, I tell you. But again, congrats on the win. That was absolute spectacular to watch, especially the three of you all up there pretty much the whole day. Is slugfest, you know, trading blows between the three of you, and you came out on top this week. So congratulations. All right, we'll see you, Alex. We'll try to get Kyle in here. Well, Kyle, you definitely put on a show for everybody, but came up just short, finishing P2 to Alex. Take us through that last couple laps and what was going through your head. Did you have a plan on trying to overtake him, even though that high line was so dominant? Well, an absolute solid run all day. Saw the three of you, you, Alex, and Doug up in the top three all day, just putting on a clinic. I mean, the three of you had a 14-second gap on the field at one point. Definitely head and shoulders above the rest as far as managing your tires and just keeping the truck under you the whole day. Sorry to say, Michigan got the better of Canada this time around, as I was saying with Alex. Not to brag or anything, but you know. We're close. We're neighbors. We get along.
Everybody for running a fairly clean race, you for doing the broadcast, and Greg for allowing me to join this league. And yeah, like I got everybody.
Well, unfortunately, I'm realizing that I just had, for some reason, I had some audio issues with Discord for half of that, but we got the thanks in there. That's the important part.
That's the important part.
So yeah, absolutely. Thanks to all the family and friends who let these drivers come out here and do this with us every week. It's an absolute blast to have this to commentate on, and I'm sure watch for everyone at home. You guys put an absolute clinic on and provided a whole lot of entertainment for us watching. So congrats again on P2, keeping that points lead for driver points and team points intact going into our next round. So how you feeling about that? Pretty dominating performance by the Lemon Lawyers so far.
Hey, you know what? You know, just if you need a guy, call us. We're probably not licensed, but hey, you never know. We might get a win.
I like it. I like the confidence, and it's well-deserved and well-placed, being as solid as you performed all season. So congrats on a strong run tonight, and then we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Talk to you next week.
Ed, it's Adam LeVox up in the booth. How are you feeling, sir?
Well, not bad.
Good to hear. Pretty strong run all night. We saw you come back from some adversity early on. You finished P3. Do you have any secrets to tonight? Taking care of the tires and trying to just survive out there on a hot and slick track?
Yeah, I was, first time here and with these trucks in quite a while. So first time with the league, and yeah, it was pretty slick trying to save those tires. It was pretty hard.
Yeah, P3 throughout the day, working your way up. It was good to watch. Got advantage of a couple of the guys who were up front all day. We see you got ahead of Doug just at the end there. You gained 6 spots in the day, which is pretty good. I mean, great showing for your first time out and repping Wounded. I see Wounded Warrior Project on the side of that truck. Well, it's great to have you here in the league with us.
Oh, thank you. I had a great time.
Yeah, I'd like to give you the floor. If there's anyone out there you want anything you want to tell anyone watching, we got quite a few viewers. Got about 14 at the moment. Any charities you want to mention or anything else you got going on that you'd like to plug while we're here?
I just want to thank Greg for inviting me to the league. He just told me about it the other day, so thank you to him, and yeah, I'll be looking forward to watching some replays, see what I've done right and wrong to improve. It's hard to beat Nadu. I've been racing with him for a while, different leagues, and he's a really strong racer.
Yeah, for sure. Glad to have such familiarity between all our drivers and camaraderie here, and good competition too. What a great race that was. Thanks for being a part of it and coming and racing with us.
Will do. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you.
See you.
All right, that is going to wrap up our interviews for tonight. What a spectacular race here from Atlanta Motor Speedway, putting on an absolute show at the end. It's hot and slick, and the drivers had an absolute time trying to keep everything in line towards the finish, but that's going to do it for us. Again, I'm going to plug, before we take off for the day, if I can manage to pull up the right graphic, that is. There we go. We pull up the charity race. We got a again, that 280 charity race. That's going to be happening on Saturday the 26th. All proceeds are going to go to service members and vets affected by the recent hurricanes. And you see all the information you need here. Feel free to pause that video and read off what you need here. It's going to be a buy-in for $10 for anyone interested in racing. Your race contacts are going to be Randy Peasley, and that's going to be randy.peasley@gmail.com, as seen down there on the flyer. And you can also scan the QR code there if desired. And once again, Saturday, October 26th, practice starts at, I believe, 2:20. Race starts at 3. And we hope to see you all there. Be broadcasting live here once again from Faster Horses Media. And that'll be going to a good cause and hopefully support some of the people who've been affected by some crazy disaster. 1-2 hit of hurricanes down south, and hopefully they're all doing okay, and hopefully we can make a difference and donate to that cause. Again, if you would like to do that, you're not able to be around on that date, the link to the GoFundMe is in the description below this video, so if you want to go check that out, we'd be more than happy to have you donate whatever you can. Any little bit will be sure to help. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check that out. But until next week, actually, before we do that, we'll go ahead and check out where we are going to be next week. Sorry for a bit of a trying to speak while distracted. It's not working out too great for me. Next week we're going to be at Road America. We're going to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin for the Bratwurst Done 182. We're going to go road racing here in the trucks. That's going to be again next Thursday, October 17th. Or sorry, not October 17th. That's going to be October 24th. Next Thursday. That's going to be at Road America. That's going to be 45 laps, and we'll see. We've seen who's good at ovals, but we have not yet seen who's good when we throw right turns and hills and all sorts of other adversities into the mix. I'm sure it'll be an entertaining race to watch, and I'm sure we'll probably see a few unexpected people toward the front of the field, and at least that's what I'm hoping. But until then, we'll see you next week. Again, that's going to be October 24th, right back here, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably try to get started a little bit earlier next week, 8:45 or so, and just kind of hang out with everybody, give everyone a little more time to get in the get on the video before we start, and hopefully that'll work out for us. And we'll get one more chance to plug the charity race and all that before then. Want to give that as much airtime as we can. But until then, I've been Adam LaVox here for Faster Horses Media. We will see you next week. And good night.